Welcome back to 4K Kings. My name is Matt. With me as always is Russ, and today we are back with another collection video covering our entire 4K collection. We've got over 200 titles to share with everyone at home, so we hope you enjoy.
And if you haven't already, make sure you go back and check out our other collection videos, just so you can confirm that what I have is better than Matt's.
Russ and I have a lot of titles to cover. We're going to go through them A through Z, so let's get started.
Named by some the greatest remake of all time, 310 to Yuma in a Best Buy Steelbook.
Next up from Criterion is The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. My whole family fell asleep. Hopefully yours won't too.
The Martin Scorsese romp, After Hours.
The outstanding German import of American Psycho in 4K.
You like Huey Lewis in the News?
With a complimentary copy of 4 by Huey Lewis in the News. American Werewolf in London.
The Vinegar Syndrome restoration of 1979's Amityville Horror. National Lampoon's Animal House, exclusive steelbook.
One of my favorite directors working today, Alex Garland's Annihilation. Francis Ford Coppola's epic masterpiece, Apocalypse Now. Ridley Scott's Alien. Scream Factory's excellent collector's edition of Army of Darkness.
The Scream Factory Steelbook of Army of Darkness. Robert Zemeckis' Back to the Future Steelbook. Robert
Zemeckis' racially charged Back to the Future trilogy. Sorry, that's Russ's line. The Back to the Future 4K trilogy.
A newer release from Arrow, Barbarella.
The outstanding collector's edition from Studio Canal, Basic Instinct. My banged up 1989 to 1997 Batman 4K collection. Only at Best Buy.
I'm not watching the sequel. Get the fuck out of here. No, I cannot.
It's serious because it's very important, base.
That was actually fucking pretty good.
The Big Lebowski in its cozy sweater edition. The 35th anniversary edition of Blade Runner. The sequel to Blade Runner I never watched.
Matt's favorite movie, Bloodsport.
My favorite 4K of 2023, Bloodsport.
What many say is Brian De Palma's best film, Blowout. European import of Boys in the Hood.
Robert De Niro's Goodfellas.
I went with the Arrow release, Candyman.
Who?
The Zavvi Collector's Edition of Carlito's Way.
Arrows, Chavez, Maricon, Carlito's Way.
Shout out to my family for buying this for me last Christmas. Brian De Palma's Carrie.
The Scream Factory Steelbook of 1976's Carrie, not to be confused with the dog shit that Scream Factory is about to unleash upon us.
The Titans of Cult exclusive steelbook of Casino Royale.
Casablanca.
The Studio Canal French import of Stephen King's Cat's Eye. The Scream Factory 4K steelbook of Child's Play.
Fuck you.
The Christopher Nolan 4K collection, featuring Dunkirk, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, Inception, Interstellar, and The Prestige. Criterion's first 4K and a blind buy for me, which I couldn't be happier with, Citizen Kane. Harrison Ford in an excellent political thriller starring Willem Dafoe and Harrison Ford giving his resting bitch face on the cover as usual. Harrison Ford in Clear and Present Danger.
Nobody fucking cares!
Clerks 3 exclusive Best Buy Steelbook. Titans of Trash exclusive A Clockwork Orange.
The exclusive Cloverfield Steelbook in 4K.
Matt's second favorite movie, Clue.
Coming to America.
Shout Select Steelbook of Coraline. Shout out to 4K Kids. The Arrow Special Edition of Crash. Not the one about racism, but the one about people who jerk off to car crashes. Shout out Casey Jones.
You coming?
The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear.
This gorgeous limited edition of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
One of my personal favorite films, 1993's Dazed and Confused, released by Criterion. Shout Selects The Deer Hunter. Arrow's phenomenal collection of Demons 1 and Demons 2.
The Bruce Willis classic, Die Hard in 4K.
Target exclusive steelbook of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. Don't Judge Me, Dr. Sleep. Oliver Stone's basic ass edition of The Doors. Kino Lorber's restoration of Brian De Palma's Dress to Kill.
Another excellent limited collector's edition from Second Sight, and my top favorite 4K of 2022, Drive. This underrated Tom Cruise gem is an outstanding addition to my collection, and if you haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow, what are you waiting for?
John Carpenter's Escape from New York.
Kino Lorber's 4K release of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. The original Evil Dead in 4K, I've never picked up the second one. I know Russ has that great 2-pack in 4K, but for now, I'll just be happy with the original. Alex Garland's Ex Machina in Zavvi's limited edition packaging. I can't recommend this film enough. Making it into my top 5 of 2023 and a first time watch ever when I blind bought William Friedkin's masterpiece, The Exorcist. Shown here in the Ultimate Collector's Edition. We miss you, Bill.
I don't give a flying fuck into a rolling donut.
What the heck you mean? In 4K. One of 50 Tom Cruise titles I own, A Few Good Men.
Arrow's release of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I decided to go with the OG artwork instead of the steelbook on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Thank you, Russ, for gifting me this incredible German media book of Free Solo. An incredible documentary you have to see to believe.
The Vinegar Syndrome releases of Freeway and Freeway 2.
I've said this about 20 times on the channel and I'm going to say it again. This is one of my favorite pieces of horror art of all time on the cover of Fright Night.
The Vinegar Syndrome release of Stuart Gordon's From Beyond.
Harrison Ford's back again with another 4K in The Fugitive. Now all I'm waiting for is my Regarding Henry, and my life will be complete.
Tobe Hooper's The Funhouse.
Groundbreaking and influential anime, Ghost in the Shell. Back before they were old and frozen, Ghostbusters. The Ridley Scott and Russell Crowe masterpiece, Gladiator. The most foolish I've ever felt getting a release home, The Godfather Collection in 4K.
Notice, Matt, this one fits on my shelf.
The Goonies in 4K. The Zavvi Limited Collector's Edition of The Green Mile. Joe Dante's Gremlins. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Come on guys, where's my 3-pack? Another outstanding limited collector's edition from Second Sight and my favorite 4K of 2021, The Guest.
John Carpenter's Halloween.
In this awesome, rigid slipcase. I don't mind this new art on the outside, but I love that I can have the original art on the inside.
Fuck you, Best Buy. Arrow's stellar release of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Arrow's stellar release of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Diving into the H's, one of my favorite modern horror movies in recent years, Hereditary.
Tyler Perry's I Spit on Your Grave.
Show John Malkovich some respect in The Line of Fire.
You show me some goddamn respect!
You might remember at the birth of this channel, this 4K set of Indiana Jones arrived. We all couldn't have been more ecstatic until the packaging options were announced, and I was left with this. Russ, on the other hand, who is already showcasing his steelbooks, those came way after the fact, so I was left with this decision, which I had to unfortunately make. The 4Ks are outstanding, but this packaging is not. Not for the caliber of the film that this is, and not for the countless years of joy it has brought everyone. So what did I do? Since I love my old Blu-ray box so much, and it has this nice, hardy outer box with a nice booklet inside, this is where I wanted my 4Ks to live instead.
The complete and definitive Indiana Jones collection. The only Second Sight release in my possession. It follows.
It's a Wonderful Life in gorgeous 4K.
Steelbook of Todd Phillips' Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix in Taxi Driver.
I don't even give a fuck about myself.
Partner.
The Karate Kid 3-film 4K collection.
The great Frank White is here to excite and throw dick to. That's a Biggie line and it didn't sound good coming out.
Leica does it again with another outstanding film, Kubo and the Two Strings, and this steelbook from Shop Factory that perfectly matches it.
Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. I'm as puzzled as you are as to why this is on my shelf.
One of me and my family's favorite animated movies, The Lego Movie. Thank you Everything Blue for putting out an outstanding 4K release of Leon that everyone can cherish. Hugh Jackman is Divorced. Some of my favorite films of all time and the greatest trilogy to ever be made, The Lord of the Rings. Another movie where I still couldn't hear what Tom Hardy was saying, Mad Max Fury Road.
Spike Lee's epic Malcolm X. Kevin Smith's epic Mallrats.
Underseen South Korean gem, action thriller, The Man from Nowhere. This boring steelbook of The Matrix from Titans of Cult.
Criterion's release of the Martin Scorsese Splash. Criterion's release of Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets. The Hughes Brothers 90s classic Menace to Society. One of my favorite 4Ks, Vinegar Syndrome's release of Miami Connection.
I know what you mean.
A beautiful restoration and another outstanding release from Kino Lorber, Misery. Rest in peace, Jimmy. Mission Impossible 4, 5, and 6. What happened in 1, 2, 3? I don't know. I'm waiting for a box set for all of these great films. Thank you, TC, for always putting your life on the line for the art.
I'm just living my life, man. It's something that, I'm just living my life.
The 4-disc collection of Stephen King's The Mist, directed by Frank Darabont. An excellent film that I've heard the black and white version may even be better. I've yet to check that out, but I'm very excited to in the near future. Another outstanding release from Kino Lorber, The Monster Squad. One of the wildest rides I've ever been through in a movie theater, Darren Aronofsky's Mother.
Matt and I talked shit, but caved.
Yep, Russ and I definitely caved.
Natural Born Killers. The Shout Select Steelbook of Natural Born Killers.
Next up is the German import of The Neverending Story. There are a few subtle changes in this German edition that if you're not prepared for could throw you off guard, but as a 4K transfer is concerned, it looks outstanding.
Scream Factory's restoration of Night of the Comet. Night of the Demons.
One of my newest favorite movies from 70 years ago, in an unforgettable performance by Robert Mitchum, The Night of the Hunter.
Let me explain. This is a running joke in my family. To this day, I have never seen Nightmare Before Christmas, but because when I was a child, I loved Beetlejuice and Batman, my family assumes that I love this and that it's a Tim Burton film when it's actually not. So for years now, I've been collecting Nightmare Before Christmas, either memorabilia or editions of the film, and this past Christmas, my aunt gifted me the film in 4K.
That's both flattering and embarrassing.
The incredible 4K limited edition of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, chock filled with posters, a record, and a Mad magazine. I just really wish this fit on my shelf. One of my favorite 4Ks of 2023, and yes, Russ, you are welcome. This is Christopher Nolan's possible masterpiece, Oppenheimer.
Thank you, Matt.
Completely shocked when this was announced in 4K with absolutely stunning art. Nicole Kidman in The Others. Titans of Cult strikes again with Pacific Rim.
The only 4K I own that I still haven't seen, it was a blind buy, but I've heard great things, Perdita Durango. Labyrinth.
Arrow's first 4K on the market, Pitch Black.
God, you're so beautiful.
An excellent film, but one of the worst transfers I've ever seen in my life. Shout selects 4K of Platoon.
I'm not just gonna paddle to New Zealand.
Savvy's limited collector's edition of Poltergeist in 4K. Incredible sci-fi film Possessor from Brandon Cronenberg. Recently just pre-ordered this from Second Sight. I'll be happily donating my copy to Russ so he can check it out for the first time. And if you haven't seen this, what are you waiting for? The 4K of Predator. Rest in peace, Carl.
So much heft. Psycho 1, 2, 3, and 4, released by Arrow. 1994's Pulp Fiction.
I wasn't a fan of the black and white slipcase or the black and white art on the inside, so I took my Blu-ray and swapped out the art.
Arguably the greatest comic book film ever made, Punisher Warzone. Negative Italian stereotypes.
Oh!
The 1980 masterpiece, Raging Bull.
One of my favorite action films of all time and a movie I would recommend to anyone that's a fan of the genre, this excellent Sony Steelbook of The Raid.
Underseen 80s gem, real genius. Underseen 1980s gem, real genius, but I'm gonna let Matt gush about this one.
Russ, you're right. This is one of my top 5 80s films of all time. Check out our review if you haven't already. This was an amazing out of the blue announcement from Sony. Now all we're waiting for is just one of the guys.
Bet you didn't know this had Dennis Hopper. Best Buy Steelbook, Requiem for a Dream. Lend me your ears and look at my... and look.
A for effort and one of the most creative steelbooks I've ever seen, even though I talk crap in the beginning. Clio Award winner, Reservoir Dogs.
Return of the Living Dead.
The first 4K I ever purchased, and probably my favorite transfer to date, The Revenant. The Incredible Vinegar Syndrome Ultra Release of Roadhouse.
Directed by the rowdy one himself, Rowdy Harrington.
Rest in peace, Patrick.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just lucky, I guess.
Paul Verhoeven's OG artwork steelbook, RoboCop.
Another out of the blue steelbook from Sony, a title I couldn't believe they were putting out, an immediate pre-order, and I cried like a baby for the 100th time.
I know.
The reviews of the transfer scared me so bad, I've never popped it in. Saturday Night Fever.
Saving Ryan's Privates. The Best Buy exclusive steelbook of Saw. RIP Best Buy. The World Is Yours edition of Scarface.
1996's genre-defining horror film, Scream. You guys remember that time Matt insulted me and acted like I wanted Scream 3?
You already have two.
No, I never said that.
Are you kidding me? I don't know you at all.
3 is terrible. I've always hated Scream 3.
Stop right there.
Incredible action epic from Zhang Yimou, the gorgeous 4K of Shadow. Academy Award winner for Best Picture, Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water. My incredible Film Vault edition of The Shawshank Redemption.
This release is actually a little special to me. This was the very first 4K release I picked up. At the time, I didn't even have a player, but I remember thinking, holy shit, the best visuals, the best audio, the best presentation of The Shining out there. I need to have it. I know eventually I'll get a player. So I picked up this steelbook of The Shining. David Cronenberg's Shivers. If you haven't seen this, check it out. It's an awesome little creature flick. I imported this beautiful 4K cover and media book from Germany. I couldn't be happier. This is a gem. I love it on my shelf. Saved by the Bell, The College Years.
Richard Roper called this one of the best movies of the year, Sicario.
Hands down, it's Silver Bullet. You gotta pick this one up, and I am happy to hit the microphone.
I can't thank Sony enough. They keep putting out the hits, and this is another one, So I Married an Axe Murderer. Another one of my Kino Lorber 4Ks, Spaceballs. Speed. The Spider-Man Limited Edition 3-film collection. The Star Wars Skywalker Saga in 4K, the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and the sequel trilogy, all in glorious 4K, with a solo release of Rogue One, a Star Wars story to go with it.
The movie critics completely misunderstood, Starship Troopers.
The limited edition Zavvi Steelbook of The Sting. The Brilliant Caper starring Walter Matthau and Robert Shaw, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. This was a blind buy and a total disappointment. My least favorite Christopher Nolan film of all time, Tenet. Chris Honeysett of the Daily Mirror gave this 5 stars, bold, epic, and ingenious. I'd like Chris Honeysett to explain this movie to me. Terminator 2.
I literally just picked this up. I'm such a dumbass, dude. It came up on Amazon, $14. I was like, fuck, yes.
Did it?
I was like, why the hell? It's the same damn thing.
What have I done?
What have I... Yeah, play Hurt by 9 Inch Nails over top of this one. What have I become? Am I the only one who double dips on classics? Dennis Hopper needs to calm the fuck down. John Carpenter's They Live in this glorious Scream Factory steelbook.
Academy Award-winning performances by Frances McDormand and Sam Rockwell, 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. One of the most stunning reference quality discs there is, Titanic.
I guarantee you, this movie is going to get funnier and funnier with each year. Top Gun Maverick.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall.
Antoine Fuqua's Training Day.
One of my top 5 films of all time and one of the most baffling digipacks from Criterion is Trainspotting.
The best time of Fred Ward's life.
Rest in peace, Fred. The Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr. classic, Tropic Thunder.
You know, since I'm showing this off, that it's a white boy day. Shout out to Mark.
We miss you, Bruce. Unbreakable.
The Water Boy. Brian De Palma's The Untouchables.
Kino Lorber's The Usual Suspects.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
David Cronenberg's eternal masterpiece, and a movie it took me 40 years to watch, the Arrow limited edition version of Videodrome.
Mysteriously, Disney got it right with this one. A holy grail release of sorts. Many collectors, I count myself as one of them, wanted the edition without the animation for years, and we finally got it with Arrow's The Warriors.
Can you dig it?
This goofy orange steelbook of Wayne's World. Party on. I'm stupid. I should have got the one you got.
You're right. You should have got the regular.
Arguably Robert Downey Jr.'s most well-known performance, Weird Science. I won't say it's the most faithful portrayal of alcoholism, but it comes pretty close. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Arrow's release of Wild Things.
Second Sight never disappoints with their 4K limited edition of The Witch. Arrow shocked the world when they put out The Wolf of Wall Street in 4K. The X-Men 4K 3-film collection. I have still not seen the third one. Thank God I got this Best Buy limited edition steelbook of Young Guns.
I have no idea why, but I associate that Bon Jovi song with this movie. Am I the only one?
That was in Young Guns too.
Was it really?
Yeah. That was a lot of titles. Thank you so much for checking this video out. If you made it to the end, we really appreciate that.
Throw this video a like, leave us a comment. Matt and I love doing this. We love sharing our collections. We love giving you guys news. We love being a part of this community.
We post new videos every week and live stream every other, so come by, say hello, drop us a comment, and we'll see you next time.